Welcome to Principles of Macroeconomics. This is Echo 10350, so check a moment, make sure you're in the class you think you should be in. I know in this virtual world things get a little bit complicated here. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be helping you through this class. I'm really excited. I think this is one of the most fun classes of the whole college. I mean, I'm obviously completely biased, but this is class talks about some of the biggest questions out there and provides lots of key insights. So I think it's awesome. Then again, I'm a geek. I think everything in economics is awesome. I mean, economics studies so many different things. I mean, just looking, recent issues, the American Economic Review, which is the premier journal of the profession, has articles on things like colleges and upward mobility, industrial policy, deflation and interest rates, technology transfers, privacy protection choices that people make, cities and knowledge transfer, patents, the Human Genome Project, regulation of banks, how firms choose to put stuff on sale and set prices over the business cycle, return on investment for things like childcare, medical devices, pricing and impacts there, climate change and how that impacts poor farmers, fracking, restaurant food safety, school choice, diversity at colleges, honesty in public servants, on and on and on and on. Whether we're talking about insurance or health or crime or education or the environment or poverty or discrimination or job choice, immigration, crypto, voting, company structures, labor policy, vaccinations, unions, financial aid, trade, development, public works, fertility, taxation, finance. It's all part of what economics studies. Economics studies how people make choices when there's scarcity, where they can't get everything they want. And, so pretty much that's everything in the world. Again, maybe unless you're a billionaire, in which case, but, whatever. So, economics is incredibly broad. It gets into everything. It's important to understand. Now, macroeconomics, what is macroeconomics as a subset of economics studies? Well, this is, like I said, the big questions, like why is there so much variation in living standards across different geographical areas? Why are some countries poor and other countries are rich? Why is that? That was one of the foundational, back in 1776, Adam Smith wrote a book where he was exactly trying to think this through. Like, why is that? Why do we see that? Why that's, and we've come up with some answers, but we're still digging through. Another big macro question, why is there such variation among people? Why are some people really rich and some people really poor, even, within a particular country? A place like the U.S., there's incredible rich, some people are incredibly wealthy, some people are not. Why is that? And then why is there such variation in living standards across time? Whether it's across decades, where, you and I, compared with the living standards of our grandparents, are a lot wealthier in lots of different ways. But even, in more like restricted times, why are there recessions? I mean, again, obviously the most recent COVID recession is maybe because COVID, but, it played out in certain ways. Certain people were more affected. Why is that? Previous recessions, again, different, disparate impacts. And the final big question is, what can policies do to affect these? How can governments or other organizations create policies to basically get more people to have more wealth and income? So, some of the biggest, most pressing problems in the whole world are studied by macroeconomics. Now, one of the questions people ask, hey, will this help me make money? Because, in a very personal sense of like, well, yeah, macroeconomics wants to help people or figure out why some people are wealthy, and I want to be one of them, which I completely, many blessings. But, one of the early lessons in economics, also early lesson in life, is that if it were easy, everybody would do it. So at some sense, maybe this is not like an immediate road to riches. In fact, I mean, we will talk more. Like if somebody pitches you with, oh, if you just do this one simple thing, then you will make money, then they're probably scamming you. You know, I mean, again, we all kind of know that in our ordinary life, but, you know, basically, you know, if you want to make money, you need to find an edge. You need to have some thing that you can do better. So trying to figure out what that edge is, I mean, it's going to be different for different people. But specifically to this class, you know, the question, well, like, okay, how do I get an edge? So legendary investor Howard Marks writes, he has a couple books, he has a regular blog. He talks about second level thinking. That his edge is to start from what's common knowledge. And again, he's made like $100 million or something, like, you know, managing money. So he has, you know, reason to brag. His edge is to start from what's common knowledge and then think about the second level. What is the common knowledge leaving out? You know, not only knowing what everybody's thinking, but then what is everybody, you know, what are they not thinking about? What is not there? And so, you know, I mean, again, that's loads and loads. And if you've looked at stuff in the stock market, you know, I mean, it's relatively straightforward to know, okay, everybody is, whatever, reading Elon Musk's tweet and, you know, reacting to that. But again, some people make money off that because they're thinking, well, what is he not saying? Or what should he be saying? Or what, you know, other things could I be thinking about? Or, you know, what is the next step down the line once everybody follows that? You know, so again, step one, you know, you should think through second level thinking. But step one of that is to learn the common knowledge. You know, what does everybody know? And that's partly, you know, this is a principles level class. That's partly what we're going to be talking through is like, what are the things that just everybody in the market knows already, right? So if you start learning this, then you can at least, you know, you can at least get to step one. Like, okay, what is the common knowledge where, you know, again, even common knowledge is actually not that common. But, you know, these are like the smart folks who work on Wall Street or, you know, are deep in the investment world. What do they know? And so I want to help get you up towards their level. The rest, of course, finding that second level is up to you. But I think some of you will do it if you want.